and you just click OK, wait for it to set up. Now you have just created a 19,999 megabyte swap space. Swap space allows for a quicker, if the RAM gets overloaded, the swap space is used to quickly take the place of the RAM instead of putting it onto the hard drive, because if you start using the hard drive as a backup RAM, it is very, very slow. Swap space is just dedicated to taking over if the RAM gets overloaded. So now let's go down to add, since we're going to add one more, primary partition. Primary partition for this one is going to be 200,000 megabytes. This is going to be our this is going to be 20,000 megabytes. This is going to be our root partition. So mount point, you're going to want to type just a backslash right there, or I guess it's backslash, and the primary partition needs to be over 18 gigabytes in space. I like to do 20 just to have a little bit of extra room. This is going to be where all your root drives are located, all the system files, everything like that. So since the file's 18 gigabytes, it needs to be at least, I'd say 19, but I just did 20 to be safe. Okay. Now you should have something like this with a few different colors. Mine just loaded the primary up there. So let's see. SBD, 4 colors. I have my first one, SDB1, which is the green. Sorry, this is out of focus. It's 3.3 gigabytes. That is my capabilities for the USB drive. I didn't delete it completely. Then I have SDB2, Linux swap system, which I explained earlier. Then I have, for 20 gigabytes, SDB3 extension ext4, 20 gigabytes. And then the white space is going to be free space. Because SDB3 is dynamically sized, it will expand as needed. So I just leave the free space as persistent space that can be used. You can always readjust these partition drives to make it bigger, smaller. That free space is there just for persistent use, make it run a little bit more efficiently since there's some space for it to use. Now click dev SDB and click forward, since you do not want to load this onto your internal hard drive or else you will wipe everything out. Okay, ready to install. This is just going over your partitions. I set up 2 partitions. Let's see, language English, keyboard USA. Name, did not set up name or login name. Those will come pre there. Location US Eastern. Migrant assistant. Now it says which disk this will be located to. So click install. Now it is setting up your partitions and installing drivers. I will be back when this is done. Okay, the installation on this thing is complete. Now you can either continue testing or restart to try it out from the USB drive. I'm going to restart now since I want to show y'all how to log on this thing. This is notoriously slow. Okay, system is going down for reboot now. Now it's telling which scripts are being stopped. Stopping, reboot, okay. Now it'll tell you your CD drive will pop open with your DVD. Take it out. So you're gonna go to our USB, click enter. Now if all goes well, you should have something called a grub menu pop up. It's called the GNU grub menu. This is how you're going to get to your different operating systems when you're plugged into your USB drive. Normally, if you don't click a button or anything, like I just did, you'll have a timer at the bottom and it'll automatically start the top one. BackTrack 5 is called Ubuntu. I do not know why they said that. I know that they based it off Ubuntu. A lot of the files are the same as Ubuntu. So you'll see Ubuntu on here. Ubuntu with Linux 3.2.6. Click the top one, enter. Now you will be taken to your USB drive. As you can see, this thing is running. That means it's connected, and you will have to give it a minute because BackTrack is a very slow operating system unlike Ubuntu. Here we go, bunch of code running, BackTrack. And we are going to install, or we're not installing again, it's just going to be loading up again.